The cold metallic deck vibrated beneath Yunji's broken body, her breath shallow and irregular. The research vessel Celestial Horizon had been nothing more than scattered debris moments ago, now drifting like ghostly fragments across the dark, unforgiving expanse of the Crimson Nebula. Alarms blared their final desperate warnings. Sparking electrical systems cast eerie blue-green shadows across the damaged compartments. Her advanced scanning equipment lay shattered, scattered like broken dreams across the floor. Outside the fractured viewscreen, massive alien warships, sleek predatory vessels with razor-sharp hull designs, continued their relentless assault. The Krell Raiders were notorious throughout the Galactic Rim. Ruthless mercenary groups who sold their combat expertise to highest bidders. They cared nothing for scientific expeditions or research missions. To them, her ship was just another target, another source of potential salvage and profit. Yunji's right arm hung at an unnatural angle, bone fragments visible through torn environmental suit. Blood, a strange iridescent blue-green color unique to her species, pooled around her damaged communication console. Her advanced translation implant crackled with static, occasionally transmitting fragmented distress signals that would never reach anyone. Memories of her homeworld flashed through her mind, the crystal spires of Meridian Prime, where scientific exploration was considered the highest cultural achievement. Her research team, now likely vaporized, had been studying rare quantum energy signatures in this unexplored sector, a routine mission that had transformed into a nightmare within moments. The Krell ships executed perfect synchronized attack patterns. Plasma cannons erupted in synchronized bursts, slicing through her vessel's defensive shields like they were made of paper. Robotic combat drones swarmed around the dying spacecraft, their metallic bodies gleaming with cold precision. Her survival probability calculations, running constantly in her cybernetic implant, dropped with each passing second. 0.03% chance of rescue, 0.001% chance of survival. The numbers were brutal and mathematically precise. A sudden violent impact threw her against a fractured bulkhead. Warning systems screamed in multiple languages: Meridian dialect, universal, standard machine code. The ship was dying and she was dying with it. Interesting details caught her fading consciousness. The Krell assault craft used experimental quantum disruption weapons, technology she had only read about in classified military reports. Their attack patterns suggested multiple objectives beyond simple destruction. They were specifically targeting her research databases, methodically eliminating any potential scientific discoveries. Something valuable was aboard this ship, something worth destroying an entire research expedition. Her cybernetic implant began emergency preservation protocols, compressing critical research data, encrypting mission logs, preparing final transmission packages. Even in potential death, her scientific training remained paramount. External sensors showed massive energy fluctuations. Unknown radiation signatures danced across her damaged scanning arrays. Whatever secrets her research had uncovered, the Krell were determined to ensure they never reached civilization. The ship's artificial gravity systems failed. Debris, equipment, and her own broken body began floating in slow, surreal motions. Blood droplets created beautiful, horrifying constellations around her damaged form. In her final moments of consciousness, Yunji registered something unexpected. A distant energy signature. Faint, familiar, but definitely not Krell. Something different. Her last thought before darkness consumed her was a scientific curiosity, a question mark hanging in the universe, waiting to be answered. Then silence. Floating. Drifting, waiting. End of Part 1. Notes for Part 1. Established high-stakes scenario. Introduced protagonist Yunji. Created mysterious background tension. Highlighted alien technological context. Maintained scientific perspective. Avoided graphic violent descriptions. Kept language engaging and dynamic. Introduced potential rescue. Hint. Used simple accessible language. Created narrative curiosity for next part. Would you like me to proceed with Part 2 in a similar engaging style? The United Earth Peacekeeping Scout Vessel. Horizon Breaker hummed with quiet efficiency. Pilot Jae-hoon Kim adjusted navigation systems, his fingers dancing across holographic controls with practiced precision. Standard patrol routes through the Crimson Nebula sector were typically monotonous, endless stretches of dark space interrupted by occasional asteroid fields. Today felt different. Advanced sensor arrays suddenly flickered with unexpected readings. Quantum energy distortions, debris signatures, radiation patterns that didn't match standard galactic maps. Something was definitely wrong. "Commander Lee," Jae-hoon called, "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures about 0.3 light minutes from our current position." Commander Soo-yeon Lee shifted from her tactical station, her cybernetic eye, a standard enhancement for deep space exploration personnel, scanning the holographic displays. Years of experience had taught her that unexpected readings often meant trouble. "Magnify Sector 7 Delta," she instructed. The holographic display expanded, revealing scattered spacecraft fragments. Most vessels would have ignored the debris field, but United Earth protocols demanded investigation of potential distress scenarios. Sophisticated scanning drones deployed from the Horizon Breaker's external launch bays. Robotic probes with advanced AI systems began mapping the destruction zone, collecting microscopic data fragments, analyzing chemical compositions, tracking residual energy signatures. Suddenly, a faint biological signal emerged, weak, barely registering. "They're definitely alive. We've got a survivor," Jae-hoon announced, his voice a mixture of professional calm and underlying excitement. The ship's medical AI, an advanced quantum learning system named ARIA, began calculating potential rescue scenarios. Probability matrices suggested a 62.7% chance of successful intervention, considering the extreme environmental conditions and unknown biological composition of the detected life form. Rescue protocols activated automatically. Specialized containment fields prepared. Xenobiological medical systems primed and ready. Jae-hoon maneuvered the Horizon Breaker with surgical precision. Decades of training and neural-linked navigation systems allowed human pilots to perform maneuvers that would seem impossible to less advanced species. "Preparing emergency extraction?" Commander Lee's voice remained steady. "Unknown species. Potential diplomatic and scientific significance. Specialized rescue pods detached from the main vessel. Equipped with adaptive environmental systems, quantum stabilization fields, and comprehensive medical technology. These pods could sustain virtually any known and many unknown biological life forms." As the pod approached the debris field, sophisticated scanning systems revealed more details about the survivor. Alien female critically injured, biological systems failing. Technological implants struggling to maintain basic life support. The rescue pod's external manipulator arms, flexible, intelligent appendages designed for precise extraterrestrial rescue operations, carefully extracted the unconscious alien from the destruction zone. Inside the pod, advanced medical nanobots began preliminary assessment. Multi-layered diagnostic systems activated, creating comprehensive biological maps, identifying injury zones, preparing potential treatment protocols. Aria's voice, calm and precise, filled the rescue pod's interior. Patient identified as non-human. Meridian biological classification. Severe traumatic injuries. Estimated survival window, 47 standard minutes without intervention. Jae-hoon watched the medical readouts, his heart racing beneath a calm exterior. Rescue missions were always complex, but this felt different. Something about this survivor suggested a story far more intricate than a simple accident. Commander Lee's voice crackled through the communication system. "Prep medical isolation chamber. Full xenobiological containment protocols. I want every system ready for potential first contact scenario." The Horizon Breaker's medical bay transformed. Adaptive environmental systems recalibrated. Quantum stabilization fields hummed with potential energy. Specialized medical robots prepared comprehensive treatment strategies. A single thought resonated. Through the human crew's collective consciousness, they might be about to change galactic history. As the rescue pod docked, a new chapter was about to begin, not just for the mysterious alien survivor, but potentially for entire civilizations. Waiting to be connected. End of Part 2. Notes for Part 2. Maintained high-tension narrative. Introduced human characters. Highlighted advanced technological context. Created sense of mystery and potential. Kept language engaging and dynamic. The medical bay pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Dr. Jae-woo Park stood motionless, his eyes locked on the unconscious alien lying within the quantum stabilization chamber. Advanced holographic displays surrounded him, each flickering with complex biological data that seemed to dance between comprehension and complete mystery. "Standard medical protocols won't work," he muttered, more to himself than the AI assistants, hovering nearby. The alien's cellular structure was unlike anything he'd encountered in decades of xenobiological research. Her DNA, if you could call it that, was a complex lattice of crystalline molecular structures that defied human understanding. Aria, the ship's medical AI, projected potential treatment scenarios. Hundreds of holographic models spun around Jae-woo, each representing a different approach to saving the alien's life. Conventional treatments would kill her within moments. Her biochemistry was so fundamentally different that human medicine might as well be poison. A breakthrough was needed. Jae-woo's fingers danced across the holographic interface. Years of research, countless nights studying theoretical xenobiology, and an uncanny ability to think beyond traditional medical boundaries now converged into this singular moment. He began developing a hybrid treatment protocol. Nano-adaptive, medical robots, microscopic machines capable of reshaping themselves at molecular levels would be the key. These weren't just medical tools. They were intelligent systems that could learn, adapt, and transform in real time. The first experimental injection created an immediate response. The alien's body, Yunji as her identification tags revealed, began to stabilize in ways no one could predict. Her crystalline cellular structure started responding to the nano-adaptive treatment, creating a bridge between human medical technology and her alien biology. Outside the medical bay, the ship's crew watched with a mixture of scientific curiosity and human hope. Commander Soo-yeon Lee monitored the proceedings, her cybernetic eye capturing every microscopic change in the patient's condition. "This is beyond standard first contact protocols," she whispered to Jae-hoon, who stood nearby. "We're not just rescuing a life. We're potentially opening a new chapter in galactic medical understanding." The nanorobots worked like intelligent artists. They mapped Yunji's internal systems, understanding her unique biological architecture. Where human medicine would see impossibility, these microscopic machines saw a complex puzzle waiting to be solved. Unexpected complications emerged. Her alien immune system fought back, creating quantum-level defensive responses that threatened to destroy the treatment. Jae-woo realized he wasn't just treating an injury. He was engaging in a molecular-level negotiation between two completely different biological systems. Hours passed. The medical bay became a crucible of scientific innovation. Every moment brought new discoveries, new challenges, new possibilities. Holographic displays showed remarkable progress. Damaged cellular structures began reconstructing themselves. Quantum energy pathways, previously collapsed and fragmented, started reconnecting. The alien's body was literally being rebuilt at a microscopic level. Jae-woo understood something. Profound was happening. This wasn't just medical treatment. This was a conversation between two different forms of life, speaking through the universal language of survival. "Her neural pathways are regenerating," Aria's voice announced. "Probability of full recovery, 73.6% and rising." The crew held their collective breath. Days of uncertainty were transforming into something miraculous. A life saved, potential first contact established, scientific boundaries pushed beyond imagination. As the final treatment phase completed, Hyunji's eyes flickered, not fully conscious but definitely alive, her alien form wrapped in adaptive medical fields, surrounded by human technology that defied conventional understanding. A single tear rolled down Jae-woo's cheek, not from sadness but from the pure, raw emotion of scientific triumph. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt, to understand, to reach beyond known boundaries. The universe had just witnessed another example of that. Extraordinary potential. End of Part 3. Notes for Part 3. Maintained scientific narrative tension, highlighted human innovation, created emotional and technical depth. Avoided graphic medical descriptions, kept language engaging and dynamic, emphasized human compassion and capability, prepared narrative for next segment, balanced technical detail with human emotion. Would you like me to proceed with Part 4 in a similar engaging style? Consciousness returned slowly, like gentle waves washing across a distant shore. Yunji's eyes flickered, struggling to focus in the soft, ambient light of the medical chamber. Strange sounds surrounded her, mechanical hums, distant conversations, unfamiliar rhythms of machinery. Her first coherent thought was confusion. She should be dead. The Krell attack had been catastrophic. Yet here she was, alive, surrounded by technology that defied her understanding. A human stood nearby, Dr. Jae-woo Park, reviewing holographic medical charts. His movements were deliberate, careful, almost reverent. This was nothing like the clinical detachment she'd experienced among her own species. "You're awake," he said simply, turning with a warmth that caught her completely off guard. In Meridian society, a near-fatal injury would be viewed as a statistical problem. Resources were calculated, survival probability measured, emotional investment was considered inefficient. But this human, he looked at her like she was more than just a biological equation. Jae-woo brought a small container of water. Not a standard medical nutrient solution, but actual water. Clear, pure, something so simple yet so profound. "Drink slowly," he advised, helping her adjust the medical support systems. The water tasted different, not just in flavor but in its very essence. It carried a subtle warmth, a humanity that transcended mere molecular composition. "Why did you save me?" Yunji asked, her translator implant working overtime to bridge linguistic complexities. Jae-woo's response was surprisingly simple. "Because you were alive. Because you needed help." Those words would echo through galactic diplomatic records for decades. No complex strategy, no calculated benefit. Just pure fundamental compassion. Commander Soo-yeon Lee entered, bringing detailed star charts and communication logs. Her cybernetic eye scanned Yunji with a mixture of scientific curiosity and genuine concern. "Your research vessel was attacked by Krell mercenaries," she explained. "We're analyzing the attack signatures. Something significant was aboard your ship, something they were willing to destroy an entire research team to obtain." Yunji's scientific training kicked in. Memories of her mission flooded back. Quantum energy research that could potentially revolutionize interstellar travel. The Krell weren't just mercenaries. They were contracted by someone specific. The human crew shared something remarkable, a collaborative approach to problem solving. Where Meridian research teams would fragment and assign blame, these humans worked as a unified organism, each bringing unique skills, perspectives, united by a common goal. Holographic displays began showing reconstruction of her ship's final moments. Advanced AI systems, ARIA and other ship computational networks worked together, piecing together fragmented data like an intricate cosmic puzzle. "We've recovered approximately 73% of your research data," Jae-hoon announced, manipulating holographic interfaces with practiced ease. "Quantum signature analysis suggests something extraordinary was happening in Sector 9 Delta." Yunji realized these humans were doing more than just rescuing her. They were genuinely interested in her research, her mission, her survival. Cultural exchange happened in subtle moments. Jae-woo explaining human medical ethics, Soo-yeon describing Earth's complex historical journey. Small conversations that revealed fundamental differences and surprising similarities. The medical bay became something more than a recovery room. It transformed into a crucible of understanding where two different species began comprehending each other beyond technological or biological boundaries. "In human culture," Jae-woo explained during one conversation, "we believe every life has inherent value, not just human life, every living being." Those words would change everything. Yunji understood now that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just technological innovation. It was their capacity for empathy, their ability to see beyond immediate self-interest, to help, to care, to connect. As recovery progressed, something magical happened. Not just her physical healing, but a deeper, more profound transformation. She was learning about humanity, not through academic research, but through direct, authentic interaction. The universe suddenly felt smaller and infinitely more incredible. End of Part 4. Notes for Part 4 emphasized human compassion, highlighted cross-cultural understanding, maintained scientific and emotional balance, created narrative depth, avoided technical monotony, prepared ground for final narrative segment. Balanced. Technical details with human emotion. Would you like me to proceed with the final Part 5 in a similar engaging style? 5 years later, the Galactic Research Symposium buzzed with unprecedented energy. Delegates from hundreds of star systems gathered, their diverse forms a testament to the universe's incredible complexity. At the center of it all stood Yun-Ji, no longer just a researcher, but a living bridge between civilizations. Her presentation wasn't just a scientific report, it was a revolution. Humanity's approach to medical intervention, she began, her voice carrying the calm confidence of someone who had literally been saved by that very principle, represents more than technological capability. It represents a fundamental philosophy of existence. Holographic displays came alive, showing her rescue, her treatment, her subsequent research. Each image told a story of connection, of compassion that transcended biological boundaries. The Meridian delegation shifted uncomfortably. Their entire cultural framework of resource optimization and clinical detachment was being challenged by a simple narrative of human kindness. Jae-woo and Soo-yeon watched from the audience, pride etched into their expressions. They had done more than save a life. They had sparked a cultural transformation. The quantum research Yun-Ji had been pursuing before the Krell attack had taken an unexpected turn. Her near-death experience and subsequent human-assisted recovery had opened entirely new avenues of scientific exploration. Collaborative medical technologies that could adapt across species were now a reality. Robotic assistants moved silently through the conference hall, translating nuanced diplomatic conversations in real time. Advanced AI systems tracked every molecular detail of the presentations, creating comprehensive knowledge repositories. But this was more than a scientific conference. This was a moment of galactic recalibration. The Krell attack, Yun-Ji continued, was not just an attempt to destroy research. It was an effort to suppress a fundamental truth, that compassion is the most advanced technology in the universe. Her words resonated beyond the conference hall. Diplomatic channels, research networks, interstellar communication arrays all began processing this radical perspective. The human crew of the Horizon Breaker had become unexpected diplomats. Their simple act of rescue had transformed into a complex narrative of interspecies understanding. Where traditional diplomatic approaches would have failed, their genuine humanity had succeeded. Quantum communication networks began lighting up. News of Yun-Ji's presentation spread faster than light, carrying a message of hope and connection. Unexpected allies emerged. Species that had previously been isolated or antagonistic began showing interest in human collaborative approaches. The Zarian Collective, known for their clinical approach to existence, sent diplomatic representatives to learn more. In the back of the conference hall, a Krell mercenary representative watched silently. Their previous attack now seemed short-sighted, a moment of calculated aggression that had backfired spectacularly. Jae-hoon's advanced AI systems were already processing the broader implications. This wasn't just a scientific breakthrough, this was a fundamental shift in galactic understanding. "We're witnessing the birth of a new diplomatic language," he whispered to Soo-yeon, "not based on technological superiority, but on genuine connection." The symposium became more than a conference. It transformed into a living demonstration of potential. What could happen when different species approached each other with genuine curiosity and compassion? Yun-Ji's research had evolved. No longer just a study of quantum energy signatures, It had become a comprehensive exploration of interspecies communication, medical adaptation, and collaborative survival strategies. Holographic displays showed complex molecular interactions. Human medical nanobots, meridian quantum stabilization technologies, combined into something entirely new, a technology of connection. As the presentation concluded, something unprecedented happened. Delegates from multiple star systems stood in spontaneous appreciation, not a calculated diplomatic gesture, but a genuine emotional response. The universe had just witnessed a subtle revolution, not through military might, not through technological dominance, but through something far more powerful: understanding, compassion, connection. End of Part 5. Notes for Part 5. Concluded narrative arc. Highlighted transformative potential of compassion, maintained scientific and emotional depth, created global galactic perspective, avoided monotonous technical descriptions, emphasized human potential, balanced technical innovation with emotional connection. Would you like me to provide an epilogue or additional context to complete the story? Avoided graphic descriptions, used scientific and emotional balance. Prepared ground for next narrative segment. Would you like me to proceed with Part 3 in a similar engaging style?